I'm here at what used to be Sunset Gardens, a family-owned 14-unit apartment building. Now, if I step to the side, you can see a bit of the damage that the Palisades fire left behind. That street behind me is Sunset Boulevard. Debris removal trucks have been moving in and out for the last hour, and crews are working hard to clear damaged properties. It's large aircraft like the Super Scoopers that help firefighters battle on the front lines. The pair of planes known as Quebec 1 and 2 made its annual 16-hour journey from Canada to Van Nuys Airport, just in time for the Santa Ana wind season, which fire officials say is always a concern. In today's episode, we're celebrating National Bike Month by exploring how biking is more than just a hobby. It's a lifestyle, a community, and a powerful way to connect, express, and move with purpose. With a dominant win over the Wildcats, the Indians head into next week battling for the top spot in the Foothill League against Canyon. Reporting from Hart High School, Asia Haskin for Canyons News. Now, Downey and his brother Mike are facing the difficult decision of whether or not to rebuild. And Downey says insurance is only covering less than half of what it would take. It's been 4 months since a wildfire ripped through Pacific Palisades, leaving thousands of buildings unrecognizable, including Sunset Gardens, a family-owned 14-unit apartment building. It had been a part of Jake Downey and his family's life for more than 60 years. Now, it's gone.
Man, it is a war zone. It sure looked like a war zone.
Nearly a month had passed before Downey was able to see the damage for himself.
There really isn't much left.
The devastation, when you actually see it in person, is hard to get your head around. And for me, my grandmother lived there the day I was born.
One of the tenants was his niece, who was out of town when the fire ignited.
All of the possessions that Samantha, my niece, had from her mom, her wedding ring and other iconography from Susan, is gone. And that kind of gets me, you know.
Now, Downey and his brother Mike are facing the difficult decision of whether or not to rebuild. And Downey says insurance is only covering less than half of what it would take.
The sobering reality is that my brother and I are, if we're gonna do it, have to borrow a big chunk of money.
And that's only one issue the brothers are facing.
We're hoping that our building and, well, multifamily buildings are eligible for hazmat cleanup on the site. Currently, they've just been taking care of single families.
For now, it's memories and history to hold on to.
She would have us over. She had a pool in the courtyard, and we would go there and horse around as kids in the summer and see Grandma.
After all, it was his grandmother who started it all 66 years ago.
It was harder for women to be taken seriously, and certainly in the construction trades. So she was on site calling the shots, and what she says goes. And she built her own little Taj Mahal there in 1959. She lived there until she passed in 1991.
And rebuilding will be a family affair, too.
It would mean a lot to me and my brother Mike. And if my mom, Julie, who's still with us, she's almost 88, if she's here to see that day, that would be a great day.
It's a scene all too familiar to Californians. Year after year, communities are bracing for fast-moving wildfires threatening homes and lives.
The Palisades and Eaton fires tragically claimed the lives of 31 people, destroying entire communities and leaving residents without loved ones, homes, or livelihoods.
As fire officials prepare for another wildfire season, the Los Angeles County Fire Department is highlighting the resources and partnerships that help them respond to wildfires.
Thank you for being here today as we welcome back the Super Scoopers as they join our fleet of firefighting aircraft.
We got 1,400 gallons of water total.
Super Scooper Captain Christian Paquette and his crews traveled more than 16 hours from Canada, where the distinctive yellow aircraft are leased each year from the government of Quebec.
We can use any body of water that is large enough for us, and we can scoop straight out of it. So it gives us the opportunity to do a lot of, to drop a lot of liquid on the fire in a short time.
Not having to land provides an advantage for the department when every second counts.
This plane could carry over 1,000 gallons and scoop on the run on any large water sources and quickly turn around and come and drop it on our flanks of our fires. So we would use them nor on the shoulder, so the front of the fire, to be able to slow it down and pinch it off.
Nearby, SoCal Edison's night-flying helitanker 55 was also on display. The massive Coulson Chinook can carry up to 3,000 gallons of water or fire retardant. With dry brush and the approaching Santa Ana wind season, LA County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney is warning residents to stay prepared.
This is why we must remain vigilant and educate everyone on the importance of being prepared for the Santa Ana winds that will arrive in the fall, because they have the potential to fuel fast-moving wildfires.
Reporting from Van Nuys, I'm Asia Haskin. It's a chilly Saturday night.
Oh, it's getting like colder, huh?
But that isn't stopping Miguel Bowden from bringing sweet treats
The pumpkin, the banana peanut butter, chicken and apple.
to man's best friend.
We had lost our job during COVID. Me and my wife, this just all started just by one cake for one of our dogs, and it went like a little bit viral.
Bowden is just one of many vendors who line a market with stories of their own. Just down the street is Manuel Carranza.
I had to change my viewpoint on the way I was living my life.
For him, his business brings perspective.
It hit me when my late wife passed. She was diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 breast cancer, and I seen the struggle that she went through. It was devastating losing her, but I like to keep her memory alive through this concept because this was our idea.
For Valeria Steinman, her bakery is a piece of home.
Argentinian alfajores. They're cookies filled with dulce de leche. They're originally from Argentina. My mom was a baker, and I loved to bake, so I started little by little. I quit my job, my regular job, and I started doing it full time.
And it all happens here in the San Fernando Valley at the 818 Night Market, a place where businesses can connect with customers.
Thank you for the support. Yeah, you're gonna love these, Mom, don't you worry. Meeting customers and then getting their vibes and just having them give me a follow. You don't have to buy anything from me. I just like the following.
And a place called home.
Because it's more than just what people see. There's a lot of beauty in my city. There's a lot of beauty in the valley.
Reporting from Mission Hills, I'm Asia Haskin. Hands off. That was the message that protesters gathered in Santa Clarita to deliver to the Trump administration. The phrase was a response to President Trump's and the Department of Government Efficiency's actions to cut federal spending.
We're seeing those become much more tangible for people, like the mass deportations, like cutting to education. And I think those types of things are getting people to realize these types of like blanket statements are kind of just as scary as we initially deemed them to be.
Many government agencies, including the Department of Health and Human Services and the Social Security Administration, have seen workforce reductions. For one protester, it's a cause for concern.
My mom lives on Social Security, and if they cut that, then she will have to live with me or she'll be homeless. So it's very serious.
The White House maintains that cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid benefits won't happen, but state representatives say they're prepared to fight back.
And we've got to be communicating with the folks on the other side of the aisle to make sure that they know that in 2026 there will be electoral consequences for this terrible.
I think what's happening at the federal level just makes it that much more important for us to fight here in California and truly be a backstop for the protections that we need to protect human rights and civil rights here in California, to protect rights to abortion care, to protect rights to education, to protect veterans.
Reporting from Santa Clarita, I'm Asia Haskin. It's not every day that a kid gets to go one-on-one with an NFL player, but that was the reality for campers attending Trenton Irwin's annual youth football camp.
I've been in Santa Clarita since I was in 7th grade, so this is usually my off season where I come back with the fam. And just to be able to have some of my favorite teammates I've had come out here, and it's a blessing to be able to give back to the kids there.
Joining him were NFL players like Stanley Morgan Jr. and Super Bowl champion Nick Scott, who offered not only their advice, but stories too.
One time I was guarding him. He was a number 3 receiver. I was a safety up top. and I was playing man coverage, and he comes out real slow, you know, kind of fakes and hesitates, and before I know it, I was nowhere to be found, and he was catching the ball by the sideline.
It's the camp's 4th year, and this time the proceeds went to those affected by the Eaton fire, not far from where Irwin once went to school.
I was Glendale, but I would go up in that area. So for me, that was more close to home on people that needed help. And, you know, to be able to have a camp to be able to give back to that was a blessing.
And there's nothing like being home that brings back some memories.
I remember a post route here when Cal University scouts were here. I remember covering a guy who actually caught a ball in this area.
And a chance to leave more behind.
I just hope that it's a little bit of hope, you know? You get to see someone who's accomplished, you know, I'm blessed to have accomplished a lot in that world, and, you know, hopefully give some kids hope to be able to go, you know what, that's a dream I want to chase. There's lessons you learn, there's life lessons in sports that you just can cherish and transfer over to other life things that you try to accomplish.
Reporting from Santa Clarita, I'm Asia Haskin.